everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. And for the Grue Rume Show today, I got a very awesome guest, and he stars in the new horror movie that's out called Thanksgiving. And it's a great horror slasher film. I actually saw it, and it's really awesome. And if you know me by now, you know I'm a big fan of horrors, I'm a big fan of slashers. So if you haven't seen Thanksgiving yet, this is definitely, if you like horror, slasher, gore, like this is definitely the kind of film that you want to see. My guest today is one of the actors from the film, and his name is Mika Aim Amonsen. If I said your last name wrong, I apologize. I'll have you say it when you come on. I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters, as you could tell already. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show. And stay tuned because my interview with Mika will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Room, and as always, welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned.
All
All
right.
right, buddy. Welcome to Grue, and thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for taking time out and coming on. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. So, like, the first I want to start out asking you before we talk about this amazing horror film that you're in, like, you actually started out doing songs first, music, and you were in like a rock band and everything. Like,
Yes.
how did how did that all start? Like with your music and band and stuff.
Um, a lot of people don't know this, but I was homeschooled. And we did a trip to the States and in and around like New Orleans and Florida. We kind of like picked up music. We saw some guys playing Led Zeppelin, and me and my brothers were like, "This is really cool. That we want to do this." So we ended up just loading the trailer full of gear by the end of the trip, and we got home and we started a band, and we all grew our hair out to ridiculous lengths and worshiped Led Zeppelin like they were God. And then yeah, after 6 years later, I was like, okay, maybe I'll cut the hair, see what
Yeah.
happens. Try something else. Yeah,
Okay.
but it was fun. It was fun, man. I'm still very involved in music. I just don't do the band thing anymore.
Yeah.
This is the politics of group work, and especially writing songs and stuff like that. I don't like the drama.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like you still do it though? Like you still like write your own music and play and all that stuff?
Yeah. I'll play bar gigs now just for fun, and
Oh, nice.
I do a lot of writing. It's mainly like acoustic stuff. It's not really so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
heavy metal anymore. But yeah. No, I definitely still do it. I love it.
Yeah, because I saw like I was like looking through your page. I didn't realize like you actually played Guns N' Roses. Like you were Axl Rose, right?
Oh yeah, well, okay. Well, everyone, that's my own thing. That wasn't like anything like a paid gig. It was during COVID,
Uh-huh.
and GNR just gotten back together, and I was like, okay, it's probably a good time to lose 20 pounds. I don't have anything to do. I can starve myself to look like a heroin addict, and see if I can make this look the best I can. So I did. I was like, fuck it, let's get a little team together
Yeah.
and just do some test footage for fun. And that's what we did. And we had everybody convinced for about a month that a GNR film was coming out. But yeah, it was just a big. It was more like it was a fan film, and I know people, some of the obsessed fans might see this, and they might be not my obsessed GNR fans
Yeah.
might see this, and who have stalked me and been like, "God damn you! How dare you!" But it was just for fun, guys. I did it for fun. That's it. So
I saw the photos. Like you were like spot on for Axl. You even had the headband and everything.
yeah,
Like
I did all
that
the
was
research, the
amazing.
wardrobe, yeah, the tattoos, everything. It was a lot of work for an independent project of one man. But we had a great, well, not one man, I shouldn't say. We had a great crew that we hired called Cal Caden Productions. They're from
Okay.
Toronto. Yeah, a buddy of mine, and they did a really, really, really good, amazing job. Like amazing job.
Well, your voice, like I saw the little clip of you singing wanted the Guns N' Roses song, and
That is me. That is me. Yeah.
yeah, like your
Yeah.
voice was in incredible. Like I was like sitting there, I was like, wait, is this Axl or is this really you?
Yeah, a lot of people thought I was lip syncing that, but no, that was me. That was me, and I recorded that with Chance Labrie whose dad is Kevin from Dream Theater, and I went to their
Okay.
studio to do it. And yeah, we did that in like 1 or 2 takes. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was smoking cigarettes heavily at the time to get it there. No heroin or coke though,
Yeah, exactly.
just cigarettes. That's
Okay,
it.
there you go. So when did your passion to want to act start?
It was always there. I just grew up. I had these. I had a really supportive family, but my brothers would kind of bully me, and I remember thinking about acting, and they kind of like got me out of it. And my mom at the time, she convinced me because we had these friends who were actors that I needed to be able to sing and dance and play music. So she put an acoustic guitar in my hands for the first time, and I was like, "This is bullshit." I don't know if you ever try to learn guitar for the first time, guys. Don't do it on an acoustic guitar at like 8 years old. You're not going to do it. Don't do it. Get an electric guitar and play Smoke on the Water for 8 hours, and that's it. So that didn't work at the time, and I'd forgotten about it. And then I was in university. I went to University of Western, and I was just watching so many movies, and I was obsessed with like Tom Hardy and Christopher Nolan and
Hmm.
Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, and I was always obsessed with Matt Damon. Um, and I was just talking about movies nonstop and not studying as much as I was watching movies. And
Yeah.
my now ex, who I was seeing at university, and my friends, they were all like, "You should really pursue this. You should really try it because you obviously really like it." And I was like, I don't know, because I was kind of deterred from music. It's a really difficult industry. And yeah, I just decided to say fuck it and give it a try. And I went out there in Toronto, took some classes, found a mentor who really liked me, got an agent, and then I was acting. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is my life now. And yeah, that's it.
Wow, sweet.
Yeah, it worked out, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it definitely did. You did. I saw like you did you did a lot of television shows and
Yeah,
films, and now you're in like a big blockbuster horror film, Thanksgiving, and yeah,
yeah,
like
it's crazy.
I'm I'm happy to see you chose that path.
Yeah, and I'm glad we stuck with it. There's definitely times where you're on the bandwagon and you're just thinking I could jump off now and do like sales. Like you sit there and you're after you serve a dad and his child chicken strips for the millionth time in a row, and you're just like, what dipping sauce would you like? Your interior ego and spirit just start caving in.
Yeah,
So
no,
thank God I came at a good time.
definitely. Yeah.
That's the life.
And Luke was actually the one that actually got us to come on together for the
Which is
interview.
so silly, by the way, because I don't know how I missed all of your messages. I'm so sorry. Like they were there the whole
Sorry.
time.
Nah, like I see like the app does that a lot. Like if you talk to someone that's not your friend, like they for some reason the messages get hidden, and that happens a lot.
What's weird is that what's so weird is I was going through like my messages, and like there's like what, primary general, and it's not restricted. What am I saying? Requests. And I didn't see yours in requests at all. Like I never saw them.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we're here, and thank God for Luke. So
Yeah, like
yeah.
Luke, I interviewed him and I saw like you even was on his horror
Yeah.
show too. And like
Yeah.
how was it working on that show with him?
It was fun because it's Luke, and I've known Luke for like a long time now. Back when before COVID, when you would actually audition in
Hmm.
audition rooms, we would see each other, and we had mutual friends, and then we got together. And he's absolutely unhinged, but he's so funny and so fun. And if you work with him, it's so ridiculous. And that whole experience was just fun. It was like just shooting with my friend and doing just screwing around all day. So that was a good time. It was a good time.
Well, that was a good way to prep you for doing even more horror.
Yeah, it seems like I'm the horror guy, and you know what? That's okay. We had like a huge influx of it in Canada. It seemed to feel like I felt like every audition I did was horror, and everybody else too. It was
Really?
all, yeah. We did horror for a while here, and yeah, it's been like there was Luke's show. I just shot a feature where I was number two, and then like this one, and I'm currently working on Corinne. He's directing Whistle with like Daphne Keene and some of the people from like Yellow Jacket.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and yeah, so now I've done Eli's. Now I'm doing this other big horror movie, and it's been I'm the horror guy now.
You definitely are
Yes,
now. Yes.
I guess.
So, how did you get to be part of this film, Thanksgiving?
Um, Funny enough, I was really sick at the time, and I remember auditioning thinking, I'm not going to get this. And I did it kind of quick. Not that I wasn't paying attention, but I was pretty ill and I just couldn't really, it was hard for me. I had difficulties focusing.
Oh,
Um, and, but I'd always watched like movies like The Departed, and Matt Damon was somebody I looked up to. Um, like Good Will Hunting, both the Afflecks, Casey and Ben.
oh yeah.
Um, so I kind of just channeled my inner version of them. And I remember doing it and getting an email that I got it and that Eli really liked my
Nice.
accent. Yeah, and even at
Oh,
the
nice.
premiere, yeah, even at the premiere, he said it again. I think he really, it was all contingent on me being able to be a complete dickhead in a Boston accent. And I think he wanted this guy to be so over the top, just masshole. And yeah, I brought it every day. I was just listening to that one speech when Matt Damon sends Ben Affleck to his job interview in Good Will Hunting. Like, listen, guys, when he's like talking about a retainer. Have you seen that one?
Yes,
Like
yes.
retainer. I would say this situation would be concurrently improved if I had $200 in my back pocket right now. Like that's what I was listening to like every day, like in my trailer, like just getting into like this complete asshole. But it was so fun. It is so fun. But that's how I got it.
Well, I could tell you're you're really good at being a actor because you seem like a really nice person, and to play a character like that, you definitely have to know how to act.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, that's the thing. I play a lot of these guys who are just usually just so over the top bad. I feel like I have it's like the brand now. And I'm with the deputy who was across from Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah.
The guy who plays the new deputy, and we were at the screening, and he's like, I just gotta say, I'm a bit taken back. He's like, your character's this super loud Boston asshole, and you're like this quiet, reserved kind of guy. And I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I'm not the guy. I'm not him. Uh, yeah, so it's funny.
that's that's fun. That really is fun. And so like what did you like most about playing 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 the role for Thanksgiving?
I think I'd always wanted to play um, a guy from Boston. It was always a dream because we don't really, at least I don't see a lot of films that have that anymore. Like all the films I grew up on, it was always like, you know, some smoky streets or hazy street in New York or Boston or Jersey, like the old like crime movies or like any rough around the edges movie, like and I'd always wanted to be able to embody someone like that.
Hmm.
And especially working with Eli, like I'd watched so many of his movies and looked up to him as well. So being able to even be in a movie with him, the directing
Oh
is,
my
is
God,
has
yes.
been has been crazy to me. So it's like a childhood dream. So I mean, I don't. The whole experience was great. Like my favorite part, I don't even know. The whole cast is just lovely. There's so many like big names and people I got to meet and connect
Yeah.
with that I never would have had that opportunity if I hadn't worked on a film like that with Eli. And it's just, yeah, it was just such an amazing time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like he's known in the world of horror. Like he's done so many great horror films, and just like you said, just to be on one of his sets is just
Yeah.
truly great. And of course, of one of his films comes a lot of blood and gore and kills. And
Yes. Yes.
so like when you're on set with all this blood and gore, like does it take long to clean up the blood on the set and clean up the gore and blood on yourself?
Mine wasn't bad. Mine wasn't bad. Well, I guess it's not true. It wasn't blood, but it was a huge like neck prosthetic.
Yeah.
Um, and that took a long time to get on for the
Oh,
scenes that I had it on. But otherwise, like no, we had a like a fabulous makeup team, and Colin, uh, he did a lot of like the dead sort of skin tone, like when I'm at the table and stuff. And even that came off
mhm.
really easy. I'm not sure what he was using. I've been on worse. I shot a feature where I get my head caved in, like through
Ooh.
my mouth, and like my jaw splits open, and then it's just
Oh,
blood
damn.
running everywhere.
That's a brutal kill.
Yeah, yeah. So I had blood in my hair and my ears for like days, and
Oh my.
that was probably pardon me that was probably the worst
Okay.
cleanup for sure, for sure.
Wow. And the film's been out for a little bit now. And
Yeah.
is there a kill from the film that you like most?
I can't watch a lot of them. They're so fucking disgusting. They really are. The one that gets me every time is Jenna's death, Jenna Warren, when she
Yes.
gets, spoiler alert, sorry, but when she gets thrown on the table saw, that one,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that one's a hard watch for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not my favorite, but because it's so difficult to watch, I think its the desired outcome, audience member wise, is was definitely it succeeded. Everyone's grossed out for sure.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And with this film, it definitely has like the old school horror slasher vibe, like the Freddy, Jason, Michael kind of vibe.
yeah.
And do you do you feel it's along the lines of that, like along the lines of like a Jason, and Michael, Freddy?
I'm hearing it get compared. Anybody who I'm close to who's seen it, who saw it, they all say it's anybody I'm close to who saw it said it's really similar to Scream. I keep saying
Yeah,
I
yeah,
keep hearing
definitely,
Scream.
definitely,
That's the
yeah.
one I keep hearing.
Okay.
Um, but and I probably shouldn't say this, but even though I shoot a lot of horror, I don't watch a lot of it. Like if a director comes to me and he said, okay, this is the inspo. There's these movies. I'll look them up and I'll watch some of them, but like
Okay.
I'm really sensitive to that stuff. Like I'll hide under
Gotcha.
my covers with like a shotgun. I don't have a shotgun, but if I did, like if I did, it'd just be like grenades and shotguns and like a cross.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, no, I typically avoid them.
Okay. Well, I guess it's not helping that I got Chucky staring at you throughout the whole
No,
interview,
that's
right?
okay. It's okay. Obviously, you're a big fan. That's why we're doing this. You would have that shit in the background.
Well,
It's
yeah,
all good.
exactly. Yeah, there's one person one time I had, and they're like, I am completely freaked out by Chucky staring at me, like,
It's not that bad. It's just a little doll.
right, exactly.
Yeah. I auditioned for Chucky too. I can't imagine if I booked that. I'd be on everything.
So you auditioned for the film or for the television
The
series?
show, the show.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I think it was supposed to be like some FBI agent that gets killed. He's like one of the new guys, and I don't know what he does. I can't remember.
well, the television series is awesome. Like I watched like every one so far. They're having like a new one coming out in 24 as well. New. It's the second part of the current season because they had to stop filming it for the strike, and
Yeah, the
now they're
strike
back
for
to
sure.
film it again. Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it's doing well. You have a lot of things where they try to do these spin-off shows and they don't work out. So that's good.
oh yeah. So is there like a certain scene from the film that you had the most fun doing?
Yeah, for sure. It's a scene that's really not even in the movie. It was more like a moment.
Oh, okay.
Um, there's a shot in the movie if people pay attention where it's like more like a close up on like Tommaso and Gabe when
Hmm.
they're going into Right Mart. It's kind of like an over the crowd shot, but Eli wanted them reacting. Pardon me. Eli wanted them reacting to something and not just nothing. I mean, meanwhile, keep in mind, there's like 2,000 extras around, and yeah, that's why Eli needed something for them to grab onto. So he put me on a box, and he said, "Okay, here's the voice of God, the microphone, basically for the whole set." And he's like, "Just
Yeah.
yell at them, just yell absolute fucking obscenities at them, just like belittle the hell out of them, and get them to react." And I'm like, "Okay."
He's like, okay, I'll do
So I was
it.
just like making up new and exciting ways to insult them, you know, with Boston references and just like yeah, it was unhinged. But the one that Eli liked the most is at one point I ran out of insults. I was like, okay, fuck your mom, fuck your grandpa, fuck your grandma, fuck your sister, fuck your cousin, fuck your second cousin, and fuck your dog. Most importantly, fuck your dog. Fuck that little shit. Like just like saying stuff like that, like going through the whole family, like literally like starting from like the end of the lineage, like to the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's like, I love that so much. We have to put that in the movie. So
Oh my God.
he kept a part of that in when I'm like, you can like hear the beginning of it, and at the end, I'm like, "Fuck your dog!" Like it's just yeah, and that was so funny. It was just so yeah, screaming over like 2,000 people, and it got to the point where like the extras were so familiar with Lonnie, with his character, with the way
Yeah.
he spoke that I'd walk out and extras would just like scream, "Fuck you, you fucking bitch, pussy," and I would just like I started reacting to it and being like, "Fuck you," like and just like giving it back to them, and then every time I came out, like they wanted more, so like more
Yeah.
people would pick on me to try to get me to talk to them, and I
Oh
would I would
my
just go
God.
off on them. Yeah, so method. Lonnie was a method.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say it's easy to say like you stood in character like a lot.
Yeah, you lose the accent, right? Like on this current movie I'm working on, a lot of the cast is they're all British.
Oh,
Pardon me, I
okay.
got something stuck in my throat here. I don't know what's going on. The movie I'm currently working on, a lot of the people they're all from Britain,
Oh, wow.
so they're all keeping up their American accents like all the time, and I understand that. And I thought they were half of them were like U.S. based or whatever. No, they're like they drop the accent, and I'm like, what the fuck? It's like
Yeah,
Christian
I
Bale.
know exactly.
So if I dropped it, I would have lost it. So I stayed in the accent most of the film while shooting. And even Patrick Dempsey was like, "Are you from Massachusetts? Like, are you from the area?" I'm like, "No, just keeping it up." You know?
It's funny, like you said, like the actors, singers too, from like Britain or the UK, like you wa- when you hear them singing or when you hear them act, like, they sound just as American as us. And then when they drop the accent and you're like, oh my God, like I wouldn't have known like you're from the UK, like Britain.
Yeah, that happens a lot with singers because when you're
Yeah.
projecting, I find most accents fade. There's the exception, like if you have somebody who's singing more in like a lower tone, sometimes like Ed Sheeran, you can really hear his accent come through. But for a lot of people,
Mhm.
even Adele, for example, she's somebody where like you wouldn't know 100% unless you heard her speak.
Oh,
But yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
I know. It's crazy.
yeah,
And
man.
like, what did what did you do between takes? Like when everyone knows like when you're on set, you got like a lot of downtime when it's not your scene. So what do you like doing between takes?
Depending on like what it is. Like if it's a scene where like it's just fun and games, like I'll go around and like hang out with cast. Like Lonnie, I felt like I'm comfortable hanging out with cast and whatnot, and not taking it too seriously. But like the other film I did, um, the one I was speaking to you about with all the blood and the cleanup, there was a lot of like really intense, like freaking out, running, like hereditary style kind of like panic. And if your take is like the last out of everybody, you know you have to
Mhm.
keep it up. You have to keep up the absolute mayhem in your mind. So sometimes you can't really do it. I'd be in a dark corner just pacing for like an hour or two, like just
Oh wow.
trying to make sure I didn't, lose the panic. Because I think that's the most difficult thing for
Sure.
me, is finding genuine panic and horror and fear. Sometimes is a little more difficult for me. So I have to stay in that. But if it's like something like Lonnie, yeah, I went around, got coffee, shot the shit, hung out with Eli behind the monitor, hung out with
Oh,
cast.
nice.
Yeah, yeah. So it was fun.
Okay. And did you go out in town a little bit, like explore the area that you filmed in, go out to eat with the cast?
I didn't explore the area we filmed in because it was Hamilton. I don't know if you're familiar with Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh.
No. Yeah, it's sketchy, my man. It's very
Oh,
sketch.
okay.
I mean, no shame on Hamilton. If anybody from Hamilton is watching this, like the mayor of Hamilton, I'm sorry, but you guys got some problems. So sometimes it's not exactly safe.
Gotcha.
But and I'm very familiar with Hamilton. I've shot there a million times. We shoot so much there. I guess I'm assuming it's just cheap real estate. I mean, most of Canada is cheap real estate for a lot of U.S. projects. So we shoot a lot here.
Oh,
Um, but no, we went out for dinner in Toronto.
oh, okay.
Yeah, some of the cast had places in Toronto, so we went, like I think Addison and everybody. We did like a big dinner at a Mediterranean place. It was a lot of fun. It was
Oh,
good.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because I interviewed a couple people already from the film, Janet
Okay.
and Jordan Poole too, and they were like telling me like how close the cast was on set, like that everyone still
Yeah.
talks and texts and all that stuff. So you built like a lot of friends from the cast.
Yeah, I mean, I still talk to Gabe a lot. I think I got closest with Gabe. But we all have a group chat. Everyone stays in
Mm,
touch. Yeah, I really haven't not spoken to anybody. Like obviously, you kind of learn on film sets. Like if like there's always the main lead cast, and sometimes it's hard to bond with a lot of people when you have that
yeah,
kind of distance when you're only in for a few days. So
yeah.
for the time I was there, everybody was super welcoming. Everyone was super nice. And it's been great. Like me and Nell only got like a few days, like I think maybe 2 days, where we actually got to really talk about anything. And
Okay.
even at the red carpet, she was so welcoming, and she always is. She's fabulous. Everyone's fabulous. So
Oh,
yeah,
sweet, sweet. And
yeah.
was there any funny or cool stories from the set of Thanksgiving?
Oh, there's so many I know. For a fact, there are so many. I'm trying to think of them. A lot of them is it's just shenanigans with Jeff, one of the producers and the writer, Eli's best friend. He's just
Okay.
such a funny guy. There's a video on my Instagram if you go to my reels where it's like this animation that I did, that I cut together of him. If anybody wants to explore Jeff's mind, just go watch that video. It was basically like that video every day. Jeff has like this really particular voice where it's like, wouldn't it be just funny if we did like a Thanksgiving too? But like Addison just gets out of her house and it's just a meteor that smashes into the house and kills everyone, just ends in like 10 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. He would just like come up to you and like say like obscenities, like just like the craziest things you've ever heard, and you would just be like, "What?" Like there's I have like so many of those stories in the back of my hand that I could tell, but yeah, I think Jeff was the highlight of stories on set. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Funny guy. Go watch that video on my Instagram if you get a chance. He's so funny.
Okay. And I know, like you said, Thanksgiving is actually different in Canada than it is in the States. Like
Yeah.
when do you celebrate it?
I really don't.
Oh, okay.
I really don't. Like my family is like very like all over the place. So I've kind of just not done it.
Gotcha.
We're more like of a Christmas family, like
Oh,
in
okay.
in Miami. Yeah.
And that's the same date, right? Like Christmas is the same in Canada as it is in
Yes. Christmas is the
Okay.
same.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
Yes.
So you don't experience like the day after Thanksgiving, like Black Friday, like when everyone is crazy out of their minds, like ransacking the stores and knocking you on the floor if you're standing near their way.
I I've never personally experienced that. I think we maybe don't have the same kind of sales as you guys have. Ours is
Okay.
kind of like very commercialized, so like people know. Pardon me. Get a coffee. Um, it's very commercialized, so people know like what when it's coming, and like
Gotcha.
it's not really a sale. It's still like it's more like a deal,
Yeah.
and like the sales for like a real Black Friday sale, they kind of come after. And it's not really advertised. It's kind of like after the big sale that they advertise, then it's kind of like the leftovers, and that's when really you'll get a sale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Over here, Black Friday is absolutely crazy. Like
Yeah, what the fuck is
I mean,
wrong with you guys up there? Like how does that even happen? Like do you guys really just put everything like when like is it just I don't understand the concept. Like I'm wondering like where the overhaul comes from, like where you guys get all this extra shit and you're like,
I
okay,
know, right?
75% off.
Yes, yes. Like I stopped going out on Black Friday. Like I stopped going shopping to the malls because like the
It's
people
that bad?
are yeah, the people are just crazy on Black Friday. Like they're like running into the store. Like if you're like trying to get into the store and you're looking at something to like dive in front of you and grab it because they think you're gonna grab it first. Like it is. It's crazy.
That's so weird, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. I've never experienced that here. We don't have it. We just don't have it. So
Oh,
like
good.
what's like the biggest sale? What's like the biggest sale you'll have? Will you have like 75% off? Like a
Yeah, it's like
PS5?
something
Like
like that.
what
Like they'll do like half off, 25% off. The highest they'll go is like 75% off, and it the the toy stores are usually the ones that get like hit hit the most because everyone wants to buy like the video game or the toy for their
Mhm.
kids, and yeah, it could get pretty brutal.
So fucked up. Yeah, no. Haven't seen it here. Have not seen it.
Okay, okay, good. Good. So when you're not doing films and TV and all that stuff, what do you like doing during your free time?
I like trying to get sleep because I have insomnia. I like working out.
Oh,
Big music guy, as we talked about, still play a lot of music.
yeah.
Um, I'm a workaholic for sure. I got problems with that. Um, Usually hanging out with family or my girlfriend. Yeah, just staying busy that way. My family's really close. We live in a small town called Port Severn. Like right now, I'm staring at a lake. It's a
Oh,
beautiful view.
nice.
But my whole family grew up here, so my grandma's like 5 minutes down the road, so I can always
Oh,
spend quality time with everybody. So usually working out, family, music, acting. I watch a lot of podcasts. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Well, but there's like a lot of like small towns over there, right? In Canada, because I know a lot of the how holiday films that they do, like Christmas films that they
yeah,
do on on Hallmark, like a lot of them are filmed in Canada, like little towns in Canada.
yeah. You'll get Sudbury. like yeah, really all the small towns like north. Sudbury is like a big one. I know they shoot a lot there, like a lot of Christmas
Okay.
movies. But yeah, we have more real estate. It's spread out more.
Oh,
We have a lot
nice.
more. We have a lot more free real estate here than you guys, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems that, yeah. But every time I see one of those like Christmas films, I'm like, oh man, that town looks amazing. I want to go live there.
Yeah, they make it look like Pleasantville. Like you have places like, well, they don't use them, but we have such like so many small towns I can think of, like this town, Port Severn. You've got like a lot of space in Collingwood, like Blue Mountain area, Sudbury. Like yeah, there's all these places that you can make look like these perfect little Whoville kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
so you are big into working out and stuff. Like I saw your pictures. You look great. Like what
Thanks,
kind
man.
yeah, what kind of like working out do you do? Like do you diet too while you're working out or
People are gonna hate this, but I don't because we every time I mention this, just people come for me who don't have this problem. I have a really high metabolism, so if I don't eat like a lot, I look like I'm starving. So I'll
oh
just eat whatever's in front of me. Like if you see my brothers who eat normally, like your average person, they're
yeah.
very model-esque, very slender, very thin, very tall. Um, and I like to have a little more meat on my bones. So I'm always doing more like bodybuilding style workouts,
Oh, okay.
bodybuilding style like bulking. Um, yeah, I've put on a lot more weight in the last few years because I'm just trying to change sort of the kind of characters we're going out for. Um,
Gotcha.
and it's working. Yeah, it's good.
Good. Well, like I say, you look great. So whatever working out you're doing is definitely paying off.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And if you were gonna do, I mean, since you're someone who like sings and is
Hmm.
involved with music, like if you were with friends doing a karaoke bar, like what kind of karaoke song you think you would do?
I try not to take it seriously if I do karaoke because, like, if you do, you're just a jackass. Like, you can't go up there and like do "Welcome to the Jungle" just like Axl Rose. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I I went back a few years ago to visit a buddy in university, and he's like, "Go up there and like sing Van Halen," and like I did, and it was a really packed bar, and that was cool because people thought that was wild because I can do the screams and all that. But like if you're gonna go up there, usually do like something silly, like like what's Bloodhound Gang? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. Like do something dumb, and that's usually what I
Yeah.
do. Usually like Marvin Gaye, "Let's Get It On." You know,
Nice, nice. Good choices. I like that.
yeah, I gotta keep it silly. You can't take it too literal.
Is there any place that you haven't seen that you would love to see? Like any place you want to travel to?
I really want to go to Greece. I was in Athens for a layover for like 14 hours,
Oh wow.
and I
Okay.
got to see a little bit of it. And I definitely want to spend more time there for sure.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
And is there anything coming up for you that you want to plug?
Yeah. I mean, just the film we're working on now. We're working on that movie, Whistle, with like Daphne Keane. And like I said, some of the people from Yellow Jacket. I know Ali and Sophie. I think it's Sophie that was on Yellow Jackets. Yeah, no, it's a great script. And I'm excited for people to see it. I don't know where we're streaming it or what we're going to do with it exactly, but yeah.
And the last thing I'll ask you is where can fans follow you at?
You can follow me at my first name. It's Mika underscore Amonsen. It's my Instagram. That's really it. I'm only an Instagram guy. I like to keep it limited, keep my brain free of every toxic thing in the universe.
Yeah. So the fans that they won't see you dancing on TikTok, right?
They will not see me dancing on TikTok. When I was younger, I thought maybe I can sacrifice a bit of dignity and dance. but not today, not anymore.
Okay, there you go. Well, thank you so much for doing this and taking time out. Your the horror film Thanksgiving is doing really well, and I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah, man, no, it's been really well received. I get a lot of messages and a lot of comments on things, and people, yeah, it's awesome to have the support it's got. But I think having Eli and the history behind it helps. But that besides that, it's just a great film, and it's so much fun.
Oh, it really is like that. When I went and saw it, I loved it. I mean, I'm a big horror guy, so of course I would love it because it's like a slasher kind of film. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What rating do you give it? Like what do you out of 10? What do you think it is out of 10?
Oh my God, definitely a 10. Like I really
You don't have to say that
enjoyed.
just because it's me, man.
No, no, no,
You could be like,
really.
it's trash. I hate it.
No, like I absolutely loved it. Like there there really isn't a lot of like Thanksgiving horror films. I mean, like Thanksgiving theme horror.
Are
Like
there any?
there's a couple. Like yeah, but none that went the direction this went
That
into.
hard? Yeah. Yeah. Literally everything is a Thanksgiving pun in that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, there's like a ton of Halloween horror films and Christmas horror
Yeah.
films. Like, there's probably more Christmas horror films than Halloween horror films.
Oh
It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah. There's so many.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to hold you up anymore. So
No,
thanks
all
again
good.
for doing this.
Yeah, no problem, brother. It was good chatting with you.
Definitely, yeah, man. It was definitely fun. Like I love talking. Like if you ever want to come back on when your next film is out, I'm definitely down.
Sure, man. I'll be here.
All right, buddy. Thanks again for doing it and have a great weekend.
You too, brother. Take it easy.
All right.